that people will actually look at this ad. Okay, and then, however, so in this case, actually, there's an instant way of seeing whether or not people are looking at the ad, because if they click on it, that's one more step towards looking at the ad. So Kane lists himself as the #1 White House guy. You click on it, and then he will talk about his manifesto. You might, say, to heck with it, I don't want to read it and go out. But at least you went to his page. So then, essentially, in that case, Kane will pay money to Overture only when people click on it and go there. And the money would be, the contract would be how much money they pay per click. Not how many votes, Overture will get for these guys, because that's not guaranteed. Okay, so it's still better than print ads, clearly, right? The interesting thing is, this is pretty much when this came around the 2000 time, 1998 is when Google paper was written. And if you remember, you all read the Google paper. Do you remember the dripping righteousness in that paper about how bad people do advertisements and pure search, in the word pure in capital P, and none of us will do any kind of advertisements, and it's sort of bad, and that's why we're doing it in academia. Around that time, Overture was doing this, and so Google gets to look down on them, and then after a while, people said, if you want to go IPO, you actually need some money, to make, right? Not just righteousness. And so they said, okay, we will be still good guys, but we'll do what we said we won't do. And essentially the only difference was they separated the ads. The major innovation, quote unquote, was in the Overture, all the results will be in one column, and it will be clear which ones are sponsored, which ones are not sponsored, but it will be one column. And here the Google basically said, these are the non-sponsored results and what they call organic results. They were homegrown apparently. And then these are sponsored results, right? And so, and then of course, the good thing about this actually is that you can buy things like AdBlock, which will just put a big white banner here so that you don't have to see them ever. Okay, but remember that if you know enough to actually get the AdBlock and put it on your browser, then you are in like 1% or 2% of the world population. Most of the world population doesn't know that if the computer comes with Internet Explorer in it, with Bing as the default search, they can change it. They don't know that. So you need Justice Department and you need antitrust people to stop Microsoft from bundling Internet. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't, you people, I still hope that you're all computer science people, much of you, the biggest problem that you will have is understanding people who are not computer background people. Okay, you would think, what's the big deal? What's the huge deal about changing the search engine that you're using? A whole click, okay? But obviously, a huge number of people don't know that. Okay, and when you feel particularly smug about it, remember that that's exactly what biologists will be thinking when you are completely clueless about the diseases you are suffering from and you don't know whether you can take antibiotic to kill a viral disease or not. And then you think, what's the big deal? How clueless can these computer science people be? So the point is expertise, and you are experts in computer science, such as it is, and you know, how to get rid of this, right? Okay, how to do some of these things. But anyway, so you show these advertisements here, and you show these results here, and then apparently once in a while, if you feel like, some people will click on this. And when you click on this, then Google gets money from the advertising. That's the thing. That's how it works right now. Clearly, it's a huge business right now. Most of the money Google makes is from this. Everything else, they lose money. They don't mind because they make tons and tons of money on this. Economy was totally in the dumps in the last quarter, and Google had spectacular results in their quarterly results because people are still selling stuff on these small advertisements. Okay, there's some advantages. For this because anybody now can set the advertisements. One of the interesting things here, there are multiple things that change here. First of all, even by the time you came to Overture, you don't need to do like full-page Macy's kinds of ads. You might be saying, for a particular query, I want to be shown. So Kane doesn't need to, so Kane basically wants to say he's a viable candidate to New York Times readers, he has to buy like a whole entire page in New York Times. Okay, and people who could care less about politics are still getting that page. And so he's paying for all those views. Okay, whether they actually look at it or not. Here, even the overture model, sorry. Yeah, this is the overture model. In the overture model, the advertisers are bidding on the keywords. So Keynes says, show me only if people are looking for White House. And do not show my page anywhere if people are looking for things like sexual harassment. It's not good. Okay, so basically you are paying for the keywords that you want to be shown for. Okay, and so first of all, users get to pick what they want to be shown for. The advertisers get to pick what they want to be shown for. And the users will not have to see advertisements that are not connected to what they are interested in. At least if you are searching for White House, you get shown White House page, probably you won't mind. Not too much at any rate, right? So essentially that's a big deal. In terms of Google versus Overture, the only difference is Google puts them separated from the normal search results. Okay, so there is this advantage that you're bidding on the keywords. And then the other thing is that there are minimum rates for buying advertisements on print media. And that's pretty costly. Okay, whereas here any of us can buy advertisements. Actually, in fact, I think I was looking at this course on internet advertisement, and where the instructors basically put an advertisement for the IR, internet advertisement class, please join as advertisement. So anybody who looks at internet advertisement, their advertisement comes saying, please come and join our class. And professors don't get paid much money. And there is no point in, I'm not going to be able to take a New York Times, full page ad saying, please come to my class, otherwise it'll get cancelled. Okay, so but what they were doing is they were putting $1 per day is their budget limit. And they are basically willing to pay maybe 10 cents maximum per click. Okay, so anybody gets shown this advertisement and they click on it and go to that class homepage, they pay Google 10 cents. Actually, there's a little change there that we'll get to later, but they are willing to pay up to 10 cents. And for a whole day, they're not going to pay more than $1. These budgets are important, by the way, because in fact, as I said, once we are talking about advertisements on the internet is adversarial. So the best way, I don't want their class to get too many students compared to my class. What I will do is early in the morning, I wake up and keep clicking on their ad, right? Until their entire budget gets over. In fact, hopefully they'll get bankrupt, in which case, you can do that. I'm not, it's not just that, it's not an academic rivalry. In fact, competitors do it all the time. And so, in fact, apart from all the other adversarial problems on the web, this is one more adversarial problem on the web. Other competitors will try to click on your ads and make click-throughs happen so that you will actually, they're hurting you where it really counts, which is your advertising budget. Okay, but at the same time, I can make an advertisement campaign even with a little amount of money. Just a little amount of money I can put up, and I can pick any arbitrary kind of advertisements, like there are very, very few times, people will be selling, certain kinds of esoteric items by taking full page advertisements in New York Times, right? Whereas here, you can have both general advertisements and special advertisements and everything in the same place, and then when people are looking for that special thing, they get that advertisement. In fact, that's likely to be clicked. Okay, so not surprisingly, performance-based advertisement actually works. Here, performance is that you clicked on the ad and went to the page. You didn't necessarily have to buy it. You at least took first step towards buying it. Okay, in fact, even after you buy it, you still didn't give the money to the company because you may buy it and send it back because you didn't like it. Okay, in fact, there's this whole funnel for advertisers. They're hoping that first they'll actually go into the shop. Second, you don't run out of the shop because it smells bad. So at least they'll put some candles, etc. So you'll wait for a few seconds. Then third, they hope you'll buy something. And fourth, they hope that you don't return it next day. Fifth, they hope that you like the one that you bought so much that you'll keep coming back to the shop. That's the big funnel advertisers are trying to do, right? But this is the first step, coming into the shop. Coming into your internet shop, which is your web page, is the first step. And you only pay when people come in. That's basically the deal. Right? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there is very interesting problems. And I just basically am going to end with this, but come back again to this next class. The interesting thing about this problem is there are three parties, and they have completely different utility models. There is a search engine who is actually trying to feed you the advertisements, because if you click on those advertisements, they get money. There are advertisers who are trying to sell advertisements, not because they want to give money to Google, but because they think that if they give 10 cents to Google, then the return of people coming into their store and buying stuff is much more. So they are maximizing that profit. And there is you who mostly hate advertisements and won't mind seeing good advertisements once in a while. And you will get really, really mad if I show you totally nonsensical advertisements like, about Viagra and, interesting pictures all over the place as soon as you go to a page, because your boss might not like it. It's bad enough that you're searching stuff in the work hours, but they also have pretty pictures being shown as advertisements. They won't like it, right? So users are sort of, interested in the relevance of the advertisements. Search engines particularly don't care about relevance. They just care about whether user clicks on them. Since users won't click on irrelevant advertisements, they're trying to show relevant advertisements. And advertisers just want to sell their stuff. It doesn't really matter whether you really want it or not, but if you buy it, I'm very happy. So the question is, can I make the advertisement at the time you're likely to buy it? And the interesting question is, there are different utility models for all of them, and building a good computational advertisement system has to somehow balance these conflicting and utilities of these things. Okay. In particular, we'll come back and notice that some of these utilities are synergistic. Maybe the search engine as well as advertisers both want more clicks. Because advertisers want more clicks because people will buy stuff from them if they get into the store. Search engines want more clicks because they get more money. Search engines and users want good ads because they share in their interest in good ads. Okay? But they can also have conflicting utilities, because search engines, for example, would like to pay a lot more per click. But advertisers want to pay much less per click. Then the question then becomes, there are multiple advertisers. And if you are going to pay $10 per click, 10 cents per click, that guy is going to pay 11 cents per click, that guy is going to pay 13 cents per click. The search engine not only has to figure out what are the relevant advertisements to show for this query, but among them, who is going to pay more. And furthermore, if the guy who is paying 11 cents is selling a crappy product, and you have seen that the last million times you showed their advertisement thinking you will make 11 cents, nobody clicked on it. So you're not getting any money. Whereas the guy who is only paying 3 cents, actually people tend to go to their page. So what matters is not how much I'm bidding, but how likely are people likely to click on it, and the search engine is interested in that too. So it's an interesting, complex problem, and what we'll spend next class, or at least a part of next class, is how to balance these conflicting factors.